Jim Jones's son startled everyone by publicly standing with Chrissy. Yes, Chrissy. The courtroom not only disrupted the order, but also the internet. Camron, appearing as smug as usual. Jimmy's son dramatically changed the account, made it appear as if he had just watched the ending of a soap opera. He had discreetly manufactured Mama Jones, who had claimed that Chrissy was the cause, though the woman at the center of leaked USB drives was the victim of courtroom slaps, and whispered betrayals. Envision a courthouse with hardwood floors and a stenographer, with cameras rolling and fingers feverishly tapping. We can assure you that this Issa dynasty falling in real time. And what happened inside that courthouse isn't just history, it's reality TV treason. And it wasn't just any court day, sir. We already know that the courtroom has been the scene for diaper catastrophe film since Mama Jones went full WWE and open-palmed Chrissy across the face. And we watch Chrissy draw out the sound of heels clicking down the aisle. Sounds like a love and hip-hop reunion special. That the mysterious USB drive appeared to be her final card, but it wasn't because Camron was leaking mixtapes and Mama Jones was launching stuff with her. Luckily, it was just a slap. But this new development toe baby is a plot twist that no one predicted since Jim Jones's kid, let us call him Junior, approached the courtroom today with his head up high and told the judge that Chrissy was the only legitimate person present at the time. He was supposed to be neutral party, the next generation, successor to Harlem's hip-hop legacy would keep out of the mess while the adults figured things out and present the whole. Camron Cam sat 2 rows behind the defense bench, sat back and folded his arms. He smiled without grinning. I bought snacks because I knew this was come. Let's break down. According to our anonymous source, Junior asked to make of the judge who had already left. The circus grudgingly nodded when the voluntary statement was delivered during pretrial hearing. I'm not going to keep watching everyone insult the only person who ever has my father's back, Visitor Junior asked, turning to face the room. When one reporter slipped, Chrissy did not flinch, instead tilting her head, though she predicted it. Keep in mind that this is the same courtroom. Cameron's leaked tape accused Chrissy of being a double agent and feeding Mama Jones. Reportedly remarked, he's indoctrinated. Let's get into the details. Insiders claimed that Junior and Chrissy had been discreetly speaking for weeks before to the trial, not for the sake of reconciliation or PR damage. We feel that Chrissy was cornered in the courts. Therefore, why would Jim's own son defend her? But in terms of according to one leaked message, apparently from a burner WhatsApp discussion, Junior informed Chrissy that her mother would attempt to bury her with falsehoods, which is proof of internal betrayal, and the kind of behavior through escalating a family conflict into a deadly civil war. Days before the hearing, more court paperwork were produced, and it was discovered that Junior had asked to check what was on Chrissy's USB stick to verify he grasped the before they were made public. Translation: Junior was aware that the tapes will shock Harlem, and he needed to know which side of the explosion Chrissy had receipts, and the USB, which I wanted to be on, purportedly contained video footage of her giving cash wrapped in notes, and Mama Jones voice notes discussing fraudulent real estate enterprises, employing speaking with well-known Dipset associates. I've heard that stories are currently circulating that Camron and Chrissy were actually comrades and undercover players in a long-running conspiracy to uncover Mama Jones' role as a twisted mate in a hip-hop rendition of Game of Thrones. In his courtroom statement, Junior is now taking sides. He also claimed to have heard his grandma, Mama Jones, mind you, discussing arrangements with a VH1 producer, change the tale to make Chrissy appear steady. They allegedly intend to broadcast altered film and restore Mom as a well-known Mama Jones. A supporter and former Dipset manager claimed in a now-deleted tirade on Camron always treated Chrissy like a second mother. According to Twitter, the judge apparently startled the gathering with his statements while portraying Chrissy as a villain, but not everyone was laughing. Twitter fans uploaded videos. JR and Chrissy in past episodes of Love and Hip Hop, and the opponent even smiled as Camron gestured in court with the message, when you knew. The recordings were hot, and I brought popcorn rather than a lawyer. During the lunch break, Junior was seen departing with Chris, not Jim or his staff, and even in neutral. One camera caught her whispering something to him, and admirers are still attempting to figure what it is like in the Zapruder movie. In the meanwhile, Facebook tagged Junior Astrator to the throne, accused Chrissy of Quisif of influencing a boy who is still unaware of what true loyalty looks like. That angry screenshot washered again because Jim Jones fans are divided, and the lines between the warring factions are becoming evident. A spokesperson for Jim Jones eventually gave the media a general statement that read, Jimmy loves his family and wants the drama to remain off the record. His focus is on peace. Not Jimmy is petty. Trembling in his Timberlands because his son is siding with Chrissy Camron. Mama Jones will lose control when he bursts out laughing in court. According to the Dipset storyline, Chrissy is no longer crying, and her empire is strategically winning and wearing heels while disintegrating from the inside out. Hold on. We're not even near the dramatic climax that, according to our information, did not originate from the USB end, but rather from Camron's legal team. The stenographer even ceased typing for a moment, and one of the baifs coughed, though he had choked. And just when you thought things couldn't get much worse, Jim Jones walked forward, locked eyes with the judge, and delivered the sentence, transformed the whole courtroom into a human pressure cooker. Let's take a moment to clarify what happened when Spit Mama Jones went viral. On TikTok, in a matter of seconds, you could practically see the steam rising off her wig as she grabbed her pearls and whispered something horrible. The woman seated next to her has shifted seats since the start of this. Harlem Jim's son from the soap show has never openly stood out for what he believes in. He has always been neutral and out of frame whenever family strife reached the press. Now he is in the spotlight in a trial, defending the very lady his within a few minutes of the grandmother declaring herself a traitor. Our family bloodline transcripts were disclosed by an individual who clearly Jim's children not only supported Chrissy but also accused Mama Jones of orchestrating a smear campaign stating that Chrissy was attempting to protect Jim. Escape financial catastrophe because he didn't name anyone. He didn't have to. Camron was sitting in the back row, giggling like he was in a Broadway show. Pull out a bag of peanut M's and Ms. Placing one in his mouth and making the most annoying weldum sound. Is this petty or strategic? After Jim's SMA, his statement, guess who slid a manila envelope across the courtroom? Cam's leaked audio prompted the entire courtroom drama, and now he's seeing everything play out like a villain in a Tyler Perry finale. When the judge asked Chrissy to elaborate, she stood calmly and answered, "I've kept my mouth shut for years to safeguard this family." Yet the court appears unclear about. Let's be clear about who is betraying whom. Chrissy suddenly appeared at the defense table, looking like Olivia Pope, filled with receipts. Then all of a sudden there were emails, bank transfers, and documents that supposedly revealed Mama Jones launched a side company, using Jim's name resemblance and brand without his consent. What's worse is that it was all connected to a New Jersey facility that had previously gained public exposure during a 2019 day affiliate Fury. Do you recall? Though yes, this is a story of phantom contracts and unregistered real estate operations. It was the same facility, but wait, on things get complicated. Chrissy also brought apparently a phone chat between Mama Jones and a well-known Harlem fixer recorded on audio that was played over the courthouse speaker as a mixtape. Well, if you think the courtroom was dramatic before, you were not ready. The voice in the video said, "Bury Chrissy and make it public if she continues to dig." We don't know if the voice was actually that of Mama Jones. The room acted as if Beyonce had just entered, and one woman fainted. The court took a 10-minute recess, and Camron jumped up, gave a single clap, and twist the plot. Meanwhile, when #ChrissyRed began to appear on social media TikTok, detectives began matching the voice of the released tape with records from other reality programs spreading on Twitter. One genius made a complete analysis, using waveform analysis, and established that yes, she is Mama Jones. She had Jim Jones maintained the same energy, breathing pattern, and accent throughout this time. Was still a ghost apparition. No announcement, just a single Instagram tale with the words "pray for the truth" and a light burning Mama Jones. The lawyer argued in court that the tape be ignored since it is unconfirmed. The prosecution argued against the mysterious sorrow and meaningless origins, and ordered a complete forensic review after the judge agreed to require investigating what was on Chrissy's USB stick is where things really A gathering of Chrissy supporters began to become heated outside the courthouse. Gather and make homemade posters, t-shirts with her likeness, and even custom foam, folding seats, and printed brochures about family treachery. The elder and louder supporters of one daughter-in-law, Mama Jones, fought like it was the greatest battle of the decade, requiring authorities to put up barricades. It had hardly begun inside the courthouse when someone used a loudspeaker. Jim's son was still speaking as Camron's old diss tune was played, so he took out a handwritten letter dated 2 weeks ago, reportedly authored by during the first courtroom slap. Jim Jones read aloud the letter. That includes the following words: telling my mother to cease taking charge. OV don't know who I can trust anymore. And Chrissy might be my only anchor. In this jumble, Mama Jones made a pin drop noise and began fidgeting with Camron. Chrissy simply reclined back in her chair as she chewed gummy worms. The judge, with her arms crossed, was as unflappable as a cucumber marinated in wrath. Finally had enough and declared that the case will now require a closed door. Or hearings because of the significant public interest in the potential criminal cameras were prohibited, as were cell phones. The court sketch artist was also expelled, but it was too late because within a few hours, the whole transcript of Jim's son's statement became public. The courtroom clip's audio was leaked, and subsequently put to YouTube as a bootleg. Telegram on whichever sketchy Discord server the internet could uncover. The reaction videos were filled with hashtags, and Team Chrissy and Team Mama Jones jokes became more popular than I retained the files. So I kept the silence. But I won't keep accepting the responsibility, wrote Nightfall. Camron, one of Nicki and Card's Twitter fans, in an Instagram photo with a black backdrop and white text that reads, "I told you so. Loyalty prevails over legacy." Christy went live for exactly 24 seconds without makeup or filters, simply staring into the camera. She then logged off, but in the interim, someone posing as a previous member of the Dipset tour began sharing what they called the Chrissy Chronicles. There are no tags or captions, just vibes and mayhem that everyone is consuming. Due to a number of claims of financial mismanagement, stage conflicts, and hush money that date back to 2013, everyone is currently inquiring whether Jim's son is behind. Chrissy and Jim's own comment shows that he doesn't trust Mama Jones, who is genuinely in command of the Jones legacy. With the court closed, the next significant disclosure must come from outside the building because Harlem Haas taught us secrets should never be kept hidden, especially while Chrissy is still in possession of new data. And guess what? Their internet was still fighting in Harlem after an unknown Twitter user wrote something that late that evening. The internet stopped scrolling. And USB wasn't the only one. YouTuber was live streaming themselves reading court documents like bedtime stories and the contents of the second USB, or, more precisely, the so-called shadow disk has been hacked. Worse, recordings of private leaked emails between Jim Jones and Mona Scott indicated that VH1 executives were creating things to make Chrissy look crazy. So get ready for, according to the leaks, Mama Jones was involved in a covert deal. Chrissy was barred from all upcoming love and hip-hop ventures, although limited to television. It was more than simply a quarrel. It was a complete assassination of a woman's career. And the worst part was that the receipts were too excellent to ignore. In the midst of all that, Camron documented another film from Dubai, this time sitting in an infinite pool. He continued to grin as he joked about excluding her from brand collaborations, Dipset-affiliated goods lines, and even weakening her real estate investments on VH1 was in full panic mode after inside sources revealed that emergency meetings were following Andy's letter. An investigation is being performed to assess damage control, while drinking orange juice and stating that some of you genuinely believed Chrissy was, allegedly, the blame, and that you all owed that woman an apology. Shared on Twitter, but it was too late. They had already been downloaded and copied, and included in 50 private group chats, YouTube videos, and discussions, with headlines like Mama Jones exposed and Chrissy's revenge because it was precisely 8:30. Let's get back to Chrissy. There's always been a distinction between loyalty and silence. And I elected to stay silent in the hope that the truth would speak for itself. But today you can plainly hear it related to a decision she was making as the internet was fighting which side should support the following. Morning 3-minute. Voice of verified Instagram account known as Chrissy's official public relations issued a message that left fans shocked, analyzing every word as like it were a Grammy performance. And 1. TikTok. Mona's voice could be heard faintly in the distance. We need fresh blood. Chrissy's story is stale. Maybe due to a message supposedly written by Jim Jones himself, a man whose voice eerily mimics Jim's. Vince informs someone by name about how his mother put the entire crew on Chrissy. Whether true or not, the public thought Cam knew more than he should have, and that he was losing control of the Dipset heritage to a group of old heads with personal objectives. This notion significantly changed the people who had been insulting Chrissy for 2 weeks. Even Cardi B stopped doing so and tweeted IB. Those who had previously referred to her as the Harlem Harriet Tubman of reality TV claimed to have broken free from the constraints of dubious contracts, family manipulation, and character assassination. Tolerated everything and brought receipt. Deserved her own demonstration right now. Let's talk about fallout. Mama Jones. After days of dubious Facebook posts and minor subtweets, She became absolutely silent. And then the hospital records were leaked. Sure. A paper that reportedly revealed Mama Jones had been checked in days after. Some fans demonstrated the courtroom sympathy. In a private Manhattan center, hypertension, stress, and trauma. Others did not hold back. A single viral tweet made fun of her because she was tough and hit Chrissy, but she was too frail. Surprisingly, receipts hit harshly. Clubhouse meeting that lasted 3 minutes. Jim's son doubled down, telling it the audience fell hushed with supporters. Y'all just saw half the tale. 2 was raised to protect my family. My family is also responsible for your safety. Chrissy had been standing beside my dad. Generational shift in loyalty and a rejection of manipulation happened while those around him licked his name clean. It was a public declaration that sometimes the truth comes from the person whom everyone attempted to quiet, and Jim Jones eventually broke the quiet. While dining in the Breakfast Club of all places, Charlemagne, Jim, who seemed tired but composed, he stated, I always loved my mother, but some things that should not have happened. Certain things were made public, and I am not yet ready to talk about them. But Chrissy did not deserve everything. Much was spoken, but it was enough. Change public opinion. To calm down the storm's perception, claimed that prepared the path for reconstructing the Dipset's legacy.